Hi friends, welcome to Stay Stitching. My name is Carla and I am so glad you are here. So I know I look a little bit different. I had my hair done yesterday and I think my stylist went rogue. I did not ask for it to be this dark. And so it's taking me a little while to get used to it. Now I realized that, that old dead blonde stuff at the end needed to go. So and I do go a little bit darker in the winter, but I was not prepared for it to be this dark. So it's taking me a minute to get used to. It's only been about 24 hours. I also had my brows dyed for the first time. And because my eyebrows are incredibly pale, and she says these will lighten up. But for right now, I kind of feel like Groucho Marx. And so I went, in an effort to keep you guys from staring at my eyebrows the entire video, I put on bright lipstick. So I don't know what to tell you about what's going on with me. Perhaps in the next video, I will look a little bit toned down. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something even crazier, but it's just hair. I think I'll like it better when I get it back into my style, because this is just whatever she did to it. So there you have it. Okay, interesting video today. And the reason why I say interesting is not because I'm so fascinating, but because for months now, I have had a book on pre-order on Amazon. And the book was released on November 8th, and it came here shortly after. I had always intended to make a video on that with a review of the book and my plans. Well, I noticed this week that Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery had beat me to it. And so I did not watch her video. So this will be interesting for those of you who have already watched Whitney's review of the book, to see what I think. And then as soon as I'm finished filming this video, I'm going to run down to my computer and watch Whitney's video and see if we had any of the same thoughts or feelings, or what our plans for what to do with this book are. So the book is A Stylish Guide to Classic Sewing by Sarah Gunn and Julie Starr. Now, these are the gals who did the Tunic Bible, which I did not buy because I just didn't find it that interesting. It just wasn't for me. That specific, very highly structured tunic, that extremely Lily Pulitzer ladylike tunic style, is not really my style. And so the book didn't interest me. I never bought it. I have no real desire to wear those tunics. But this book, the idea, the concept behind this book interested me immediately, and I pre-ordered the book immediately. And so the concept is explore 30 timeless garments with history, styling, and tips for ready-to-wear results. Okay, and again, there's the beautiful book. Here are the beautiful authors. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the bad, my negative aspects of the review out of the way right away. This book contains more typos and mistakes than any other book I have ever read in my entire life. I have a degree in journalism. I taught high school English, British and American literature for 14 years. Words are my game. Writing is my game. I understand the English language and how it's supposed to go together. I will find every typo that is in anything. Zane, shh, no. He's sharpening his claws on my mid-century modern sofa. He gets away with it because he's my favorite cat, and he knows he can do whatever he wants. So just a little bit shocking, truthfully, with that. Maybe, after this first run sells out, they'll go back in and fix it. I don't know who their editor was. I'm not going to criticize that, but I will say, golly, mistakes are crazy in here. The other thing that I would criticize is that this is not a size inclusive sewing book at all. Every woman in here, aside from 2, are probably a size 2 to 4, maybe a 6, maybe an 8 and then the 2 ones that are larger are maybe like 10 or 12, size 10 or 12, or maybe 14. In other words, there is not a single woman photographed or drawn that even remotely approaches my figure. Even remotely approaches my figure. So these authors made no effort whatsoever to be size inclusive, at least in their representation of the drawings and the women that they chose to show modeling these essential elements of a well-rounded wardrobe. Okay, so that's my second criticism. Let me see, I should have checked this before, but you guys know how I'm trying to see. This does include one pattern. It includes a pattern for the pencil skirt. And this pattern goes up to a size 43 waist, a high hip of 48, and a full hip of a 51. Those are my measurements, essentially. So I am the very outside top size woman who is going to fit in the included pattern. Now, they do have a lot of sizes. They go from a size 2 to a size 22. But let's say 500 people watch this video. I want, out of that 500 people, why don't you put down in the comments below if you are a size 2. I'm wondering what percentage of the average American woman is a size 2. I could have Googled that before I made this video. So it's their book. They can do what they want. They're both size 2s or 0s or 4s. And so, I'm not their demographic. But I just feel like in this day and age, I think I read somewhere that the average American woman is a size 12 or 14. I'm not sure. And that in your department store, Dillard's, Macy's, Nordstrom, like the size 14s and 16s sell out first. Now, is that because they don't buy as many? Or because they sell that size first? Are they buying the same amount of each size? I don't know. I know that you can skew data. So those are my criticisms, and rather harsh, I know. And I don't mean to be offensive, but I paid money for this book and I get to say whatever I want about it. Now, those are my negative things. As far as the rest of the book goes, I absolutely love it. I love the concept. I trust their fashion judgment. These are classic ladies who dress classically. The word classic is in the title. I am a classic dresser completely. Like, the only weird things I do is throw in a grungy accessory or two. I like, like fry boots and, a band t-shirt with Converse or, a leather bracelet. I do like to throw a little bit of edge into my wardrobe. I wear, on an average day shopping in town with my husband, I'm going to be wearing Stan Smith's jeans, some kind of t-shirt. So I do veer off those. But then again, I would argue that fry boots and Stan Smith tennis shoes are classics, and Converse, or iconic at least. So, but for the most part, I like to bounce those edgy items off of a classic wardrobe. So I do love every single item in here. So what they've done in the book is they have listed 30 timeless garments, and then they have shown They've talked about how to wear them, so how to style them. There's bullet points on how to style them at the end of each chapter. And they have shown women wearing sewn garments that fit into that category. And they have listed the pattern numbers, or the if it's an indie pattern, the company and the name of the garment. So let's just start, and look at the art. It's exquisite. So the artist, no criticisms of the artist there. So they begin with skirts. And I'm not going to tell you everything in this book because I don't think that's cool. I mean, I think if you're interested in this book, you need to buy it yourself. They start with skirts, and they list A-line and gored skirts first, then a pencil skirt, then a full skirt. And so let's have a look at that. Super pretty. That's the beginning of one chapter. They begin with A-line and gored skirts. Here's a classic A-line. Here's a gored skirt. There's a gored skirt on the front. Oh, there's that gored skirt again. There's a longer A-line. And then for every one, they list how to style. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 ways to style that. And then they tell you who wore it. They give you a list of which iconic women have worn this. For example, for this skirt, it's Marlo Thomas, Cheryl Tiegs, Twiggy, Jean Shrimpton, Peggy Lipton, The Supremes, Sybil Shepherd, Suzanne Plachette in The Byrds, 1960 airline stewardess, Taylor Swift, Jessica Alba, and Anne Hathaway. Okay, so those are those. And so that's that first section. Then we have the pencil skirt, and we have the full skirt. Now, I just made an A-line skirt, the Crestwood by Fig and Needle. That was my leopard print skirt. Do you see how the skirt is just shaped like an A? That's all you have to an A-line skirt. They're not gathered. They can be constructed with or without a waistband. This is a fancy one because it has things like this dip here. It has these slant pockets. It has a panel in there that you can color block with. This one up here has the scalloped hem and the scalloped pockets and the very flattering V waistband. I just think that this is an absolutely exquisite A-line skirt pattern. So if you don't have one and you would like to pick one up that is just lots of fun, you can go check this out on Fig and Needle. You will see my version. They've got my picture in there. And so I just think it's beautiful. I really do. There's a million different ways you can do that. I went through almost all of my patterns, and I found almost or no gored skirts. I do have a dress that has a gored skirt on the bottom, as the skirt part, but it is a little too small for me right now. I just don't like the way it looks on me. I can get it on, but I wouldn't wear it out. And so I'm not including that. I bought a gored skirt pattern. Hold on, let me pause this. I should have gotten that. I'm gonna pause this and then just start the video again to talk about that skirt. I should have printed that out, but I want to give you an idea of what gored skirt I'm going to make. Be right back.